Welcome to Standing on Businesses podcast. This is your host, Don John. Episode 6. I'm here with Ireon Warner and my homegirl, Katie, and we're going to be talking about the streets. See, what it means to me is being addicted to drugs, riding around on a bike, being homeless, sleeping here, sleeping there, not knowing where, how to eat, trying to steal, rob people. Right. That's my definition of the streets. Right. And a lot of people think when I say the streets is like when I'm saying, I gangbang or I'm selling drugs, or there's different perspectives of the streets. Right. So, and this is what I want to get people to understand is when I talk about me being in the streets, I was homeless. I was on drugs, addicted, on a hard drug, not just marijuana or alcohol. I'm talking about methamphetamines, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And being homeless, sleeping in buildings that are being built, sleeping in abandoned buildings, and like I said, I'm not gangbanging. I'm not doing none of this. I'm not, I'm
Right.
stealing. I'm not robbing people. I'm
Right,
not doing nothing in that kind of lifestyle.
Right.
But that's why, I want to, there's a different perspective on what people think the streets are.
Depending on what side of the fence you're on.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're on the side of the fence where like Katie said, hustling and making money and,
right.
And
it's good. I like that you're here because from a man's perspective and a woman's perspective is different. Yeah. How do you think those two differ? Like from a man being in the streets, right, being on drugs and in that lifestyle, being in the game, to a woman, how do you think it's different?
If I'm honest here,
be honest.
I'm a whole nigga. Can I do that? Like I hustle like a man.
Right. Because that's you move and think like
mentality.
Right.
Like, I can't be no soft.
Right.
With feeling feelings and all. No, I can't.
So what you're saying is a female in the streets or in that kind of lifestyle per se is different from a regular female.
It just depends on what role of a female you're playing. Because there's many different ones. Like there's boss female, there's 403 female, there's grimy female, there's,
right,
getting down on people female. Just depends on what mentality and perspective you have.
And y'all both have kids. Having your daughter, how has that changed your perspective on life, on how you want to move in the future?
Everything, bro. I mean, everything. You got a whole different perspective. You ain't just living for yourself no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you living for a whole nother person, a whole nother you. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, my perspective on life, whole different perspective, right? But it's like I'm living for her. Everything I do is for my little self. So, I mean, it's great.
And I don't have kids, so asking y'all, that's why I'm learning because
you breathing for somebody else at that point. You know what I mean? Right. So you ain't really worried about yourself. Like Katie was saying, you hustle. You might not think you would hustle ever. You might not have thought you would do this or do that, but when you got a baby or another you coming in, no telling what you'll do. You know what I mean? So it does put a huge different perspective on life. Growing up in sports and all that, you didn't think of this part.
Right.
Parts.
What was the moment, after of course you had your daughter, that you told yourself that I need to change? It was when you had your daughter.
Yeah, right when I had my child. I mean, for me, my first child is, it was crazy, amazing, but it's like first thing you can think of is I gotta feed this child for the rest of,
the responsibility.
The responsibility of that. So it's like, oh man, you gotta snap into reality real quick. But I mean, crazy. It's just crazy, man. It was immediately though, damn near, took some time to realize, I really got not another child. I only have one child, but to realize you actually have a child in this world. So,
right.
a blessing that you got that, you know what I'm saying, like instantly.
Right.
You know, it's
The
great.
greatest blessing I've ever had.
I feel that same energy, even with, you know, y'all talk about children, but with a dog. You know what I mean? Because the whole reason why, you know, this and that happened was because my dog, and I made the decision to take care of that responsibility. You know,
Right.
I can't wait to have a kid. I promise you. Oh man,
Best feeling in the world, bro.
you know, it hasn't happened yet, so I'm kind of scared. But
Do when you'll be ready.
Anyway.
yeah, and I'm glad I haven't had one yet because even now I'm not ready. I feel like I'm still not ready financially for sure.
Right.
Mentally, I don't know. I don't think anybody is, right, you know.
Right.
But you know, if it happens, it happens. But it hasn't happened yet. So, but Katie, what was the moment you realized you couldn't keep living the way you were doing?
When I got my last charge, and I was on my like ninth felony all at one time, house arrest, all that, and nothing was clicking until I sat in jail completely by myself after everybody's pocket I put money in, after everybody I was there for, after everybody I knew. You know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of people, and I couldn't pick up the phone and call one for nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But luckily, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that I got through it, and I still made money in jail, you know? So, but when I came home, I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, same thing. When I got home, I really had to make a decision on what I wanted to do, who I wanted to hang out with, you know, who I wanted to influence me. You know, I wanted to change. You know, so that was the first step. Was when I got out of prison was who am I hanging out with now? Because I gotta have homeboys, I gotta have friends.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna just be no loner. But now I had to make the decision: should I call homegirl again, or should I, you know, maybe introduce new people into my life?
Right.
And I made the decision to do that. You know, of course, hanging out with other people too, but you know, the same people I used to, but blocking out the people who I know.
Sure.
Exactly.
Right.
You know,
As you hang around it, you will become it, man.
and you will, and I've been in that process of getting out of jail and trying to do better, but hanging out with those people just brings you back down. You don't even know it while it's happening. You think you're having fun. You think you can handle it because you done went through, you know, a month of sobriety,
Right,
you know, and you think you're thinking right, but you're really not. Think you can handle it, but you can't.
Temptation is crazy.
So it forced me to I was, you know, I would, you know, everybody sees me on Facebook now that I'm out, and women, oh, you know, hey, how you been? You know, how was it? Whatever. I'm,
On vacation.
you know, and it's like, should I message them? Should I not? You know, and if I didn't, I still got to keep that fine line between, you know,
Right.
of me involving my whole life into them like I did before.
Right,
You
right.
know.
If you don't mind me asking, how much time did you guys do? You know what I mean,
Like, when I decided I was done, like, I didn't talk to nobody. Like, I moved out
Right.
to
You can't.
Point Venture, if y'all know what that is.
No, I
Oh, it's at the north end of Lake Travis.
Right.
So, like, BK's and Lakeways on the south end. Point Venture is, like, past Lago Biscuit.
Lago.
like yeah, all on the west. Yeah.
I moved out there, did my house arrest out there. No contact with nobody.
And so when you were saying that, so you were on house arrest, or you went to like a rehab, or like what was like a?
No, this was during COVID. So
Oh, okay.
I was on house arrest really from like 2019 to like, you know what I'm saying, last time we went to jail was 2021. So.
And this last time you went to jail, that's when everything changed.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously. So yeah, because what it took for me was jail, and I had a homeboy. And he was like, man, I'm doing, you know, I'm up against this, you know, this kind of charge. And I'm like, bro, just do the time.
Yeah.
You just do the time, because you want to get on probation for 5 years, and, you know, or 10 years, whatever. And you're going to be doing the same. You're not going to change as a person, bro.
Right.
You're not going to change as a person. I promise. You need to be disciplined.
It's a setup.
Right. It is. It's a setup. You go on probation.
It's not for everybody, though. It's not for everybody.
Parole is easier, probation, you know, but either way it goes, it could be a setup depending on your mindset, right? Because you go in it thinking, I'm going to change, not for the probation, but for yourself.
Right.
Then you're going to go through it.
Yeah, but
Right.
then it goes back to what you were saying earlier. You come home and you come back to the same friends.
And
And,
that's where the decision,
you
gotta-
know,
yeah, you know what I'm
that's
saying?
even tougher. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
There's so many obstacles that come, but you got to be prepared to overcome them obstacles
Right, right.
and be strong. Because if not, then you're gonna fall. You're gonna fold.
Right.
You know what I mean? If these things came to me in the position that I'm in right now, doing all this, whatever, if those same obstacles have come to me, and I folded, all this wouldn't happen. None of this mindset wouldn't happen. I would just be probably back in the streets.
Right.
This kind of mindset is what makes these kind of things happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Being stuck in that street mindset doesn't make shit happen. You're gonna be. And I remember I was with one of these girls that we were in the streets, and I was kind of still getting out of that mindset, trying to get out of that mindset, wanting to, but still stuck in physically in the situation. But I was telling her, "Why are you hanging out with these bums?
Yeah.
I know we're bums, but why are you hanging out with these bums?
Yeah.
Like, we can't be like these bums. We got to be different. We got to be better than this.
Right.
I know we don't have a home. I know we don't have none of this, but we can't be like this. We can't hang out with these people because then it's gonna feed us. We're gonna get involved in their lifestyles and their situations. Trying to help them, right? Be good people,
Right.
but it just brings us down.
It's gonna bring you down. You can't help somebody that don't want to be helped.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. So,
And levels of water attract levels of water.
Mm-hmm. And like back to what you were saying earlier when you asked me what does the streets mean to me, man. Basically, I've never been, locked in jail for
Right.
I don't know how much time you guys
right,
done.
so it's different.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've never done just crazy amount of time, maybe just
Yeah.
being bugged, bond out. You know what I mean? So for me, like the streets, it's nothing but like death or prison. You know what I mean?
Right.
Prison
Leading
death.
to that kind of stuff.
Leading to it, man. So like my pops used to always tell me, like I told you earlier, hang around it, you will become it. That's a place I don't feel like I belong, or I mean nobody belongs there. I don't,
But some people feel like they do belong, typically comfortable with it. You know what I mean? And that's cool. And we'll take care of. That's no hate on it. But for myself, in my opinion, I know there's more. I know that I can be better for myself.
Right.
I know I don't have to stay stagnant in the apartment that I'm in.
Right.
I know that I'm gonna be in a real loft, in a real penthouse.
Right.
I know that. But I gotta stay consistent. I gotta
Facts.
keep doing. I can't tell everybody, especially on the platform that I'm on and trying to grow. I can't tell everybody that I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and not do it. Now I got people looking at me. Now I have to do it,
Right.
and now it pushes me more to want to do it.
Right, yeah. If you say something, man, you gotta do it, man.
And this is what this whole podcast is about standing on businesses, plural. So standing on more than one business, standing on everything you're about.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Right,
not
right.
lying to people and not lying to yourself that you're going to do something and not do it.
Right.
Feeding your ego saying, oh, I'm going to start this 1-2 episodes and then fucking quit. Thinking you really did something when you ain't did shit.
Right.
Because you don't know your full potential and you could have did more.
Consistency.
Stay consistent. I promise y'all. Y'all stay consistent on anything you're doing. Your goal is you're going to achieve your goal.
Right. Like with the music, man, just consistent, bro. Gotta stay consistent. You know what I mean?
Stay making music. Even if you don't put it out, stay making it.
I already know.
Stay with the heart. Because the moment you stop, now you're wondering, how do I do it?
Right.
How do I get back in?
Right.
It's been so long, everything's done evolved. Now, how do I now? It's not the same 5 years ago.
Right.
You know?
Definitely a whole bunch different, man.
Right.
Yeah.
You put your music out there.
We're gonna get it out there. We're gonna get it
We
out
gonna get
there.
it out there.
And we bouncing back, man.
Without anger.
Yeah, features on, SoundCloud, iTunes, or Apple Music now. It's everywhere. Just, as far as me just blazing like I used to be blazing, I ain't just been doing that, having my daughter, losing people left and right,
I know. Hey, man,
It's tough, man, but
it's crazy.
just, minor setback for a major comeback, you feel me? Just make you
It's
push
only
harder.
gonna fuel you. It's only gonna build you.
Right.
This is a building block of what you're gonna become. A part of. In 5 years from now, you're gonna say, this is a piece of me. This is why I became this right here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know, life comes at you
Yeah. Life start lifing.
real quick, and you don't even know what to do or how to react.
It's crazy, man.
What keeps you from going back to what you used to do?
My kids and my family, if they're watching, like everything that I used to do, it's all out in the open. You know what I mean? Like
Right. Everybody knows. Yeah.
things of like,
Yeah.
and my kids are getting older, and back then I thought that it was something to be proud of, and it's just I would never want anyone to go through anything that I went through in that lifestyle.
Because this is a dark lifestyle, bro. It is dark. I'm talking about like
Brutal.
and that's why I asked, because the way I see it between women and men, you know, living in the streets and that kind of lifestyle with addiction and you know, trying to maintain and hustle and all this, you know, for women, I feel like it's harsh because as men, and not because you're a whole ass nigga, right? But I'm saying like in general sense, you know, because what, like if for example my girlfriend, you know, before I met her or whatever, or even when I was with her, you know, it's different from her,
Right.
You know, because I'm a toxic guy. Obviously, a man's gonna be more dominant, and it's gonna be more scary and hard for a woman to live that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, and then
Definitely.
especially when drugs are involved, and then there goes sex, and then there goes money. You know, so and this is why we're doing this, so we can tell y'all this shit, and y'all not do the dumb shit that we're doing or we have done, because it's not gonna lead you nowhere. You think it's cool, it feels good at the moment, but 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30, 40 years from now, you're looking at yourself like, what the fuck did I do in my life? And now you're about to die. Your kids are grown and have nothing because you want to live that kind of lifestyle because you made it comfortable for them to kind of, you know what I'm saying? This is why we got to change and start thinking for the future of not just ourselves, but for other people that we love and want to take care of
Right.
in our future.
Yeah, we ending cycles.
We have to end that cycle.
You know, you got your family members, you know, that do the same thing, that's done the same thing, you know. Like we said earlier, you hang around it, you know, more subject to become it. You know, you don't want to keep doing the same thing, keep getting the same results, man. You got to end cycles, man. You got to do it different. You feel me? Like if I want my daughter to live any different than what I lived, I got to do things.
You got to do things
you know?
different now for her to live that kind of lifestyle.
Later, yeah.
Because if you don't, she gonna lose.
Same thing. Rough lifestyle that you know that I kind of live. You feel me?
And Ireon, you're unique, and I look up to you a lot, bro.
Yeah.
When did you ever have a moment of realization that you were meant for more than just the people around me?
Right. Always, man. With everything I do, bro. Like, you know me from back in the school days, bro. Like playing
You're
ball.
the one that stood out the most. I'm telling you.
Playing ball, man. Like I I have to be the best at it. You know what I mean? I'll work and work toward it. You know what I mean? Being the best at whatever it is that that I love. You feel me? So.
He's meant for more. He's meant for more.
Yeah, man, I always feel like I'm meant for more, dude. Like,
and you have to have that kind of mindset, because if you don't, you're not going to prosper. If you don't want to prosper, that's cool. If you want to stay where you're at, that's fine. But if you want to prosper, you got to think more of yourself.
Right.
You can't think less of yourself. You can't, tell people less of yourself because you're scared to tell them who you really are.
Right. If you don't mind me asking, how much time did, you guys do? You know what I mean?
Oh, so I did a year.
A year? So
I got sentenced 2 years. And yeah, if y'all want to ask questions.
Yeah. How much time did you do? Just John,
I got sentenced 2 years. I did 10 months in TDCJ and got out, of course, on good behavior, which was crazy because, there's things that's in there called write-ups. So, living a lifestyle and then being taken in, by force to another lifestyle you still have those habits, right? So you're still
right.
gonna run around and try to smoke and do all this, you know what I mean? You know, fuck around and fight, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to fucking, you know. But I made parole, and I got out, and as soon as I got out, I already had kind of a set plan of what I wanted to do the day I got out, which was go find a job at the car wash, because I already knew my homegirl was working there. She can give me the job there. I didn't really know it was going to expand to anything like this.
Were you thinking that the day you went into jail, or was it like
The day I went into jail,
I feel like I'll change everything for the rest of my life. Just let me free. You know what I mean?
you know, and I would think to myself, people would tell me, be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and I wouldn't indulge in it because I didn't know.
Right.
I couldn't tell myself or anybody else, especially you're in a prison system that's in Texas. Everybody knows everybody. You don't know what's gonna go. You know, so if you're saying all this and then you go out and do. And be like, hey, yeah, I was in prison with this guy. He's saying all this bullshit. And now he ain't doing shit.
Right.
So it reflects on you.
Right.
So I didn't want to say that. I didn't know if I was gonna go back to the drugs or not.
Yeah.
I didn't. So I was just like, that's cool. That's what's up. Like that sounds like a good idea. You know, whatever. You know, but, oh hey, you know, I got this. You know, when you come out, we can get a job. Oh yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Well, you know, maybe. You know, because they're always gonna be. Oh, I got. You know how it is. I got this job. You know, I'm gonna start a business. You know, I didn't even want to say I wanted to start that yet. I don't even think I was thinking that far yet.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, you know, really the main focus that I was thinking was my mom. That was my main focus.
Making your mamas happy, man. That's what it's about, bro. Your mama, that's the biggest person, you know. Other than when you have a child, man, like, I think your mama, like, biggest thing, you know, to you.
Yeah, that was the first motivation. And then the second motivation was seeing everybody.
Right.
Just like, and I've been locked up a couple of times or a few times, and hearing everybody just talk this and that, and they're 50 years old. And I'm just like, it's like, you know, I respect you, bro.
Yeah.
But like,
I don't want to be there.
I could never.
I can't listen, and I don't tell them that. You know, you don't tell them you're gonna disrespect a man by saying I don't want to listen to you because I think your lifestyle is shit when you don't know.
Right.
But to judge them, you gotta kind of judge people, you know, on their situation.
Yeah.
Because if you're 50 to 75 years old, locked up, or whatever, and you haven't learned your lesson, you've been locked up. Then you're the same person. You only changed because of your situation. Because you are locked up. When you get out, you're probably gonna come back. I don't want to listen to those people.
No.
You want
Definitely don't want to.
people, you know, you surround yourself people who are going to give you good advice, and you know they're going to give you good advice, and not just, you know, you got to kind of look at everybody's situation. Like, should I take advice from him? Well, he has, you know, he wants to give me relationship advice, but he is you know, is a divorce for the 5th time, and no woman likes him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I want to take advice from
No,
him.
I can't take advice from him.
You know, but you know, the mindset that I have in was taking care of my mom. Second was seeing people that, you know, that I would see just, you know, that old and not have done them for the life, you know. And the third motivation was changing myself. Like, I think this is the time where I need to do it. That's right. This is the time. I thought this was the time I needed to do it, but now that I'm realizing this is the opportunity that was given to me.
Yeah.
This is not the time this is the opportunity. I gotta take it. If I don't, you know, who knows what would happen? I don't know where I would be at. Right. You know what I mean? Sober or not, you know, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
No. And how about you? How much time did you do?
So I've never been to prison,
Okay.
thankfully. Last time I went to jail, like I said,
I'd rather be in prison, to be honest.
no.
I swear to God, I think county jail sucks.
Well, I mean, probably, but I don't know what to compare it to.
Oh, because you've never been right. But it's fun, but it's not cool. It's not cool.
I don't want to go to neither.
Neither. Don't even go to Duke.
Kids, don't do drugs.
Yeah. Don't even land on the you got to go to jail in Monopoly. That's not cool. There's no get out of jail free
No,
card.
get out of
This
jail
Monopoly.
free car.
This is life. This ain't the Monopoly.
So I've never been to prison, but when I went to jail the last time in 2021, like they had given me so many chances, and they were giving me another chance to be on probation. And I'm like,
You were facing charges.
yeah, like I was preparing to do time. You know what I mean? Like, especially when they let me out on ankle monitor, I slipped it off. You know what I mean? They caught me in the criminal vegetable with a new charge. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, there's got to be some reason why y'all haven't sent me to prison.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the last lawyer I ended up with, he was really, really, really good. Shout out to him. And he got me like 3 years probation, but I was on house arrest like the first 9 months, and I had to do, you know, outpatient program because it was during COVID, couldn't go in. Had to do
Outpatient. Well, that's better than inpatient shit.
right,
You know.
but honestly, at that point, like I was just so tired of living that life and dealing with those consequences and continuing to put myself on the back burner when I knew that I'm just smart for this. You know what I mean? Like this can't be what defines me. It cannot be what makes me me or how people remember me.
Was there a point in your life where you told yourself that you're not gonna do this forever?
Yeah.
Because I remember I was in the restroom at the library of the Georgetown Library, and I was right there, you know, doing my thing, right the day that ledge, you know what I'm talking about, right? And I was doing my thing, and I was like, I'm not gonna. This is not me forever. I can't do this forever. Right. 10 years from now, I'm gonna be 40 years old doing this shit. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and I had told myself, yeah, I'm not gonna do it. And I never knew how to put it into play until I was forced into incarceration. Right. You know, because I didn't know how to think for myself. So it took for the state to lock me up, tell me, put me in, around these people that are gonna put me in check, because I got put in check.
Yeah.
Everybody gets put in check.
Yeah.
You don't go to prison. I don't care who you are. Everybody gets put in check.
Right.
Whether it's verbally or physically.
Facts.
Right. And it got both for me. And it's mostly everybody that gets put in check both.
Right.
You know? And that made me realize, and that made me change as a person, and it made me gain values and you know, ethics from other people, whether it be physically, or there were a lot of people who really talked to me.
Right.
You know, sat me down like, hey, you know, what's your story? What you got going on? You're an interesting guy. I want to know about you. You know, I know a lot too. Let's talk.
Right.
You listen. That's the one thing I did in prison, was listen.
That's what you got to do. Listen, man.
To the right people.
Oh.
You know their situation and analyze that, and know if you should, you know, receive data from them, you know, and if you shouldn't, and if you should, you should, because you'll learn a lot from other people.
Definitely.
People knowing that they know everybody, you know, or know everything from, you know, they don't want to learn, you know, and they don't want to listen to nobody. Go ahead, let them not learn. You know, more information for me to learn.
Right.
You know, more time for them OGs to talk to me.
Right.
You know,
I
somebody's
feel like,
gonna listen,
man,
and put it in their life.
Right. You gotta listen, man. You gotta, you know, keep your mouth closed and keep your ears open. You know, I've always had somebody, you know, in my corner, you know, a lot in my life, where I feel like, you know, that's a big reason I haven't, you know, been in, you know, prison and stuff like that, because I've always, like you said, had somebody you know, are rooting for me or in my corner. You know what I mean?
No, and it's harder.
Right.
No one rooting for you, and this is why I appreciate y'all coming on this podcast, or anybody that's gonna be on the future or in the past, because y'all are motivating me to do what I'm doing now.
All right.
You know, I want to do this. Y'all are motivating me to keep on going, and I appreciate y'all.
You know, I gotta stay motivated, man. Got to, bro.
Everything that I do every day motivates me. If I don't do shit, you know, if I slack off and I feel that anxiety, you know, like, oh fuck, like I don't think I'm doing the right thing.
Right.
No, and it puts me in check. That's why I'm glad I have anxiety. You know, I praise that. I don't look at over it and think it's a bad thing for a human to have. It's
right.
Anxiety. It keeps you alert. It keeps you, you know, focused on what you need to do, because if you're scared of not doing the right thing, you're gonna do the right thing because you feel you need to.
Yeah, and another thing is, man, you know, listening, tapping at home, man. Words, you know, from the wise, man. You keep doing something over and over and over again, man, it's gonna be, you know, muscle memory to you. You know, I used to always, you know, my pops would be like, oh, you know, you're gonna work early in the morning, work early in the morning. I hate waking up early in the morning, you know what I hate it, you know, but
And this is what we're doing. This is why we're trying to get out of that now.
man,
You know,
you
we
do
want to
it.
build from something for ourselves.
Right,
You wanna-
right.
You know, you're going to school. You know, you're doing music. I'm doing this podcast. We're reaching for something bigger.
Right.
A 9 to 5. You know, I'm working whatever. Cool. I work at a fucking car wash. I'm a general manager at a car wash. I love the job and I love what I do because it's teaching me more and more about business every day. This is the way I take this. I don't take it as a regular job that I had to fucking slum to and slave to every day. I learn every day because they're teaching me, and I appreciate that, you know, from them, you know, and they only do it because I want to learn. They see that I want to learn. If someone sees that you want to learn, I'm gonna give you all the knowledge I know.
And there's
I don't think you wanna
opportunity.
learn, I ain't gonna tell you shit.
Right. There's opportunities too at work. You can't get
Exactly.
too many opportunities sitting on your ass at home, man. You,
Exactly.
it doesn't come, you know, nothing comes to a sleeper but a dream, brother. You know, you got a job, you know, you're gonna see more people, run into more people. No telling, hey, I like the way you work, man. You know, I own my own business.
Right. You know.
That shit, you know, that might be another
and
step.
it helps me out too because I'm networking with different people. You
Right,
know,
right,
you know
right,
how many
right.
people I've networked with, the people that come through the car wash, and I've already made relationships with them.
I can only imagine, man.
And you know why I made the relationship with them? Because I knew I had this going on, so I knew I needed to network and build with people and create relationships.
Right.
So I'm like, hey, you know, I got this podcast, you know, whatever. I seen this one girl, she pulled up. I've never seen her. She's a member, and she pulled up. She had the Instagram thing on. Hey, you got an Instagram? What do you do? Oh, I do beauty and this and that. Oh, I'm gonna look you up. I got a podcast. Let's connect. Let's connect.
Just like that.
You know what I mean?
You would have never got that sitting on your ass at home without a job. You know what I
Trying to
mean?
network. That's why I use this as a resource, as a tool. You know, my job. You know, they get labor out of me, good labor, and I run things and I run it smooth. You know, what I get out of it is meeting new people, and I don't care about the money. You know what I mean? Whatever. You know, I have enough to pay for all my things that I need to do. What I'm trying to do and focus on it is growing what I got, so I don't need to keep doing this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And the owners know they don't, you know, this is, you know, if someone has goals and aspirations, they're gonna you know,
Temporary.
they're gonna feed that person with knowledge of everything that they know, and so in hopes that they use it in their life in the future.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they know they got something good on their shoulders. They know they got something good on their phone.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they know they're gonna, you know, be able to do something with it. So, you know, the owners that are at the car wash right now, they help me a lot by what they know, because, you know, obviously they're older than me, so they learned a lot more, and they've been through the business, you know, directly, and they got their own business. So why not learn from them?
Right.
I got to. You'd be dumb not to learn from somebody who's
right.
doing that, something that you want to do. You know, and whether it be a car wash or whatever, it doesn't matter. Business is business. It's the same thing.
You can adapt that same philosophy they got in their business to your
Use a
business.
resource. You know, if you're working at McDonald's, okay, go to McDonald's, become a manager. You know, get to know the district manager.
Right,
Learn what he does and how to do it.
Right,
you know, and build a network. You know, and if you have an idea of yourself, boom, go ahead and do it. But work here to fund that.
Right.
You only do this to fund your future and your, you know,
To invest in
you
yourself.
don't work for now, you work
Right,
for the
right.
future. This 9 to 5 that I'm doing is for my future. It's not for paying my bills.
Right.
It pays my bills, but I'm also investing a lot of money into it.
Right.
You know, and you have to do that if you want to build something for yourself. You got to put the time and money. You know, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be, you know, a burden, but, you know, and especially uncomfortable. But once you get past that, and your new comfort is what you just built, now you can build from there. Because you're so comfortable.
Anything tough ain't gonna be comfortable, man. You know, you gotta get out of that. You know, sometimes be out of your comfort zone. You feel me?
Exactly.
Anything, you know, hard and tough, you know, playing in the NFL, NBA, you know, them people sacrifice time, you know, their bodies, and
They're not just born and get into it.
nah, man, you getting up early, man. It starts with getting up, man. Like my pop says, get up, just get up. That's the first thing you gotta do, get up, and then, you know, everything else will follow.
And then move. You know,
Move,
and
get
I
up
tell
and
people-
go.
I tell people, a lot of people pray and you know, and I've talked to people in my, you know, my whole life, and a lot of people pray and they don't get the results they're praying for. And it's like, well, are you getting what you pray for? Are you going out and getting what you prayed for?
Right.
Pray.
Are you waiting for
But don't just pray.
Mhm.
Go get what you pray for.
Right.
You can't just sit there and expect God to hand you something.
Nah.
You got to put the shit in motion for it to come to you. You got to put yourself in a position to where it comes to you.
Right.
It's not going to, you know what I mean?
God ain't gonna give you nothing you can't handle either, you know?
Yeah. And
Some people don't need a lot of money. Some people don't need, aren't ready for a lot of money, I should say.
you know, I had a nice
points.
car. I had about 20K, cash, 20s, 50s, ones, whatever.
Yeah.
20, 25K, whatever.
Yeah.
I lost it all. I had a beautiful woman, and I regret that so much because I couldn't handle it.
Mm-hmm. You
I
weren't
was
ready
in a-
for
I
it.
was in a lifestyle that first off, I'm so young. I'm 18 years old with all this money. It's nice, these nice things. It's a beautiful woman who was good to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm doing things to not reciprocate that kind of energy.
Right.
Meaning I'm doing drugs. I'm cheating on her.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Hurting my health.
Right.
I'm fucking people over with the money with the business I'm doing. I'm selling dope
Yeah.
to get the money to them. It's not good.
Bad
It
business.
doesn't last. And I got to live with that regret every day, leaving, losing that woman that I love so much. I still do,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. And I gotta, this is what built me. This is what taught me. I lost this woman, so maybe I shouldn't fucking do that.
Nah, I can't do it no more, man.
Why would I do that? I'll lose another woman I love that I met.
Nah, you don't want to do that no more, man. Same thing, dude.
No.
Growing up, being with the same, woman for all of my life type deal, man. Just doing wrong, like thinking about yourself, you know what I'm saying? Not thinking about nobody else and shit.
Thinking about the moment right now.
Thinking about the moment, living for the day, living, you're not,
Satisfaction.
you're not living for
Instant
the future.
gratification.
Man, horrible, man. And then, you lose that someone and now you like looking for someone like that for the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life.
It's tough, bro.
That's so good to hear from a female perspective.
How about what's your perspective on
So when I was hanging around you, you were in a toxic relationship. I mean, have you ever lost the love of your life? I mean, what was that like because of this situation that you put yourself?
So I did. He was way too good to me, way too good for me. But
Did I feel weird for you or what?
it does feel weird for me because
You think he's lying to you? You think he's bullshit? No, I'm saying like the guy that was treating you good. You think like it's like a facade or like what was you thinking behind that? That's what I'm asking.
I just felt like I dragged him down. You know what I'm saying? Like I allowed him to carry my weight. You know what I mean? Like my burdens, my whatever it was that I was trying to.
Was he in the same lifestyle as you or?
He was not when I met him.
See, that makes sense.
Yeah, I just met him like right after I had my daughter. She was like maybe 9 months old, and I met him through this girl that I let me and my daughter stay there, or whatever, and just off the rip. Hey, do you need some diapers? Do you need warnings? You know what I'm saying? Right. If you need to use my car, you know what I mean? He was really, real supportive. Like, I even went to jail, like, only went like a month, and he kept my daughter, like, my baby, And so so he was able to take her on month. But anyway, yeah, like, I messed that up all the way.
And it hurts because now you got to live with that the rest of your life. Do you still talk to him now?
I do was actually thinking me about it.
Nice.
I wish I could talk. I wish I could talk. But
Hey, I sent her, the podcast. I sent her. I don't try to, interrupt in the relationship, but I do think about her like a lot. Like it's crazy, And I wish, and this is why I don't hate myself for it because it taught me a lot, But I think about what it could have been, and if I wasn't doing this, where would I be at? Not only with her, but with myself, within myself. Who would I be?
right.
And the drugs blocked all that, kept me from all that.
Yeah.
And this is why now I'm like, I know if I touch that certain drug, it's all downhill from there.
Do you think the doing drugs kept you from that, or do you think that you use the drugs to keep yourself from actually looking at yourself?
See, the drugs is both, right? The drugs kept me from that, and me thinking the drugs kept me from that, right? Because I'm thinking I'm addicted to drugs, right? So I'm doing certain things in my lifestyle that keeps me away from certain, things that'll make me prosper.
Right.
But me also thinking that I'm on drugs, in that moment, I knew I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't better myself, because I knew I was on drugs. That was the way I would think, not knowing. Because I would always tell myself and other people that once you do this drug, you're done. There's no fighting it. You can't fight it. No matter how strong you think you are or how strong you really are, you can't fight this drug. So I wouldn't sit there and I wouldn't tell myself that I'm able to handle it,
Right. Is that what you told yourself, maybe the first time you tried it? My thing is,
It wouldn't even like that. I wouldn't even thought of that.
Man, I've looked at people, coming up from the streets, living, street life type deal, my mom and my daddy and stuff. Like, I look at those people, that used to come in and go out and be like, I don't want to be like that. You know what I mean? And so I never wanted to try smoking weed, that's different. You don't really look at that, back then, yeah, you know what I mean, and it's whatever on that. But as far as hardcore drugs, I always tell people or ask people of your nature type deal, what made you want to start doing that? Because I look at somebody maybe that was like you or something, riding their bike. I don't want to be riding my bike. Right. I don't want to be, out living in the streets or stealing.
What makes someone start wanting to do that?
Right. You know what I mean?
No, we're going to get into that lifestyle.
Right.
Because we're living the lifestyle we are now.
Right.
So
and you think you can beat it?
Let's say I'm doing all this, right, and I got this going on, and I start doing that drug. I don't think I'm going to be riding my bike, within the next 1 year.
Yeah, I couldn't be, because you wouldn't do it. You know what I mean?
For me, the first time I did it, it was to show that I wasn't less of a man than I thought I was.
Right.
And to show that I had experience. I was young. I wanted to show people that, I'm grown. I think I'm grown.
Yeah.
I'm 17 years old. I don't know shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what made me cave in. I was like, you know what? At first I was like, nah. Then I was like, you know what? Ain't no picture.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Boom. Did it. Had the best day of my life. The best day till today, of my life.
Then you look at somebody, a fine female, doing it with you, you know what I mean?
Oh, and that makes you even do it more.
Right.
That makes you comfortable.
I can only imagine. Yeah. I can only imagine.
Now it makes it a party. Now it makes it something that connects me with somebody.
Right.
Instead of just doing it by myself, going home and be talking to my mom, she's like, why are you talking to someone? I'm just happy. I'm just happy. Really, I was just on dope, but.
Man. It's tough, bro. It's tough.
Yeah, that lifestyle's not good.
I thank people like you, not in a bad way, but to make me not want to do shit like that. You feel me?
Yeah, and I look at people like that now because I look at people in that way, but in a way that they did it for that long.
Right.
That's what not makes me want to do it.
Yeah.
Because you realize it's going to be a lifetime thing. Right. You know what I mean? Unless you really have the mindset to not want it, because I was thinking, like I said, in that moment in Georgetown Library, I'm not going to do this, but I want to do it because it's first off, I'm involved, and I knew I needed to be taken away physically. I knew I needed to be, but you're in that lifestyle, you're trying to dodge the laws,
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really until you get caught that you really know you needed it.
Yeah.
Because you tell yourself you need it. I just need to go away. I need to get locked up. That'll be probably the best thing for me. But you're not trying to do anything to do that.
No.
I mean, you're literally doing things to get locked up, but not having that mindset to go away like a rehabilitation.
Right.
Process,
It's just
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm just trying to dodge the laws because
the longest you can.
you're doing things to get to the laws, which will get you into a situation to rehabilitate yourself, but you're not doing it for that reason. You're just doing, you're doing the bad thing because you're indulged in it. You're addicted. Feels good to use euphoria.
Well,
It's comfortable, and so something that you're able to do real good.
When did it stop being euphoric freedom? Like, when was the moment that you did it and you're like, man, I hate doing this shit. Why do I even do it?
So there would be times where I would be hitting the pipe and gag and throw up. I'm like, I physically cannot take this no more. Just like cigarettes. And I knew it was the same concept because I'm the same way with cigarettes. I used to smoke cigarettes like crazy. And now I can't handle it. So me having that kind of information about myself, I kind of put that into the same thing with drugs. So when I was like, gagging and literally vomiting because I was hitting the pipe and I couldn't take it anymore, I would tell myself, I think
your sign.
this is my body getting ready for me to quit. Me not liking it, my body telling me that this is nasty, bro. Like, if I smoke a cigarette, I can't handle it. I don't even like to smell no more.
Yeah.
It makes me nauseous, like physically, and that was the point where I was like, I knew that I wasn't going to be doing it for sure. And that I was in the process of, but I was in that process for so long that I started realizing maybe the drug is still overtaking that feeling of me knowing that it's the end of the process of, going to the drug, and it physically took me for somebody to put me in a cage and get me away from that. So.
Wow.
For me, it was I couldn't function anymore. Like, I woke up, smoke.
Right.
I would have to smoke before I ate. I would have to smoke to go to sleep. Like, it will.
Before I enter something, before I exit something, before I go, before I sign up for something, before I enter, before I log into a Facebook, before I fuck, before I drive, anything, before everything, I gotta smoke. And afterwards, I gotta smoke. And during the process, I'm smoking.
I'm probably gonna go back.
And this is why people say drugs take up your life, because you're not just doing the drug. The time of you doing the drug is not the process of
And then
not
finding the dollar.
finding it, trying to get the money to find it. You're trying to get the money, and then you got to try to find somebody that'll give you the deal that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And that takes all day.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy, Katie? Look, the day I went to jail.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You had dropped me off and
I had just dropped you off. Yeah.
Fill me in. I wasn't there. Y'all let me know about this. I wasn't there, man.
So I had woke up one day dry, right? I'm hungry, I'm tired, and I'm fiending. And I won't tell too much to get into.
You could say whatever.
All right. So
Over here.
I go on Facebook Marketplace because I had this bike. How to sell it? I ended up selling it for $300. So call my homegirl, and she's like, "Yeah, I got it." Boom, pull up. Get the shit. I go chill with Juliet. Julia, you know what I'm talking about. She wanted me to mention her in this podcast. We'll probably talk about that here in a minute because we're going to talk about relationships. But went to her house, chill with her. I think I dropped something off or whatever. I forgot what happened.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was in Taylor. Went to I don't know.
Taylor, Texas.
Yeah, you a Taylor woman. Don't trip. You're crazy. Anyways, so just cool now, but went to go hang out with my uncle in what is that place called in Georgetown? The fucking Hart Street.
Oh,
The Stonehaven.
Stonehaven,
yeah. So I went over there and went to my uncle's house. Hanging out. Everybody's there. It's a big party. I'm like,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, I'm at the right spot.
This is a dope. Cool. We're chilling.
Yeah,
and Spider. Rest in peace, Spider. Man, my homegirl, man. And we were gonna go to my house afterwards, just me and her. And on the way there, I was a tweaker, so I didn't have no room in my car. No room in my truck. So- everything was. So I went to the car wash on Hart Street next to AutoZone, which was down, and cleaned out my shit. Saw my dad. I already had my shit on me. I didn't had there was no transaction between me and my dad besides a handshake and a hi. And I saw him. I was like, "Hey, come over here." Shit. He came over, and I noticed there was a Mercedes Benz across the street, a G wagon, with his lights flashing towards me. You know, at the Marisol's, the restaurant right there next, to, you know, and it was facing towards me, and there was somebody talking to him, a short guy, about short as me, but he looked like, you know what I mean? And I was like, "What the fuck?" Anyways, I couldn't see because it was bright.
Yeah.
I just seen the silhouette. So say what's up to my dad. You know, hey, I tell him I love him, whatever. He goes about his business. I do my thing. I'm about to go meet Spider at my house because she's gonna go drive behind me and get dropped off by my uncle's homeboy. So I pull out. Now I'm headed towards Exxon, towards the university, and at that light at the Exxon where the Dos Sauces is across the street, I had put on my brakes, and you know how my truck was. It was all fucked up, dumb shit. So my back light, and I knew it too. I knew he was gonna pull me over for that shit because my back light, I would press the brakes and it would flash, but it wouldn't stay on.
Right.
It would just flash. So he's like, "How am I braking with and it just flashes?" And so he pulls me over for it. Boom! I pull into the Exxon, and he's like, this and that, and he probably sees a pipe that I had, whatever. I had the dope. I had chances I had 2 turns to pull it out the window, but thought I was, whatever, because I've gotten away with it before. He had no reason to, suspect
you, and
and so, boom, can I search you? No. All right, dogs, boom, hit, jail. That day, that same night, and that was in December. That was December 4th, December 3rd. But December, the 12 o'clock.
Right before Christmas.
Right before Christmas. They had us spend Christmas.
Man.
But I'm glad I did because my mom's in better standings with herself. Emotionally, spiritually, knowing that I'm better. People around me are growing and building. I'm building myself. If it wouldn't been for that day and my fuck ups and me wanting to go hang out with this chick, both at two girls at that, I wanted to go move around and do all this at nighttime. If it wouldn't have been for that move, I wouldn't have changed my life. And
right.
I'm glad I was stupid. I'm glad it took. I'm glad I was stupid. I needed to be.
You gotta learn from those mistakes, man. You learn from your mistakes. That's what mistakes are.
And now
what they're for.
The journey of staying consistent and staying where I'm at and growing from where I'm at now and not going backwards.
Right.
What I mean?
Staying humble while you do it.
Of course, you
gotta stay humble, man.
Well, you gotta know where you came from and
know where you came from.
And appreciate those experiences and look at them as a building block to what made you, because it did. And if you overlook that, then you're not learning nothing.
Okay. That was like the hardest habit for me to break, was like having money,
Right.
being able to buy what I need, what I want, spending, and I really had to. When I sat myself down, I sat myself all the way up.
You're right.
I took that house arrest serious.
Time wise, and use that time wisely, man.
What was the main? So when you became on house arrest, you were isolated, from the outside world. And you were able to think about the things that you've done and kind of analyze your life. What was your number one thought when you were doing that in that process? Like, what should I do? Like, what was the number one goal that you had on your mind during those days that you were, isolated and knowing that you're, trying to build something after that?
So, positive thought, or what kept...
Negative, or was it negative? Was it positive? Something holding you back?
I think spending that much time with yourself, to really look at yourself and really identify what you need to improve what you need to heal from, what you need to let go, what you need to hold on to, like in itself is really difficult, you know? But my main thing when I chose to do better for myself was my parents are getting old, you know what I mean? And they have raised 3 out of 4 of my kids, like from baby, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they have never made me financially help, you know what I mean? Like I always have, but they've never forced me to.
Right.
Child support, like,
They didn't need you to.
right. They
Right.
didn't need me to. They just, when I was doing me, they let me do me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if I came around, but if I didn't, okay, you know?
That's what well, same thing.
I wanted to make my dad proud. I wanted to give him something to be proud of when he thought of me before he passed.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same thing with my mom. Like I you know, like my whole life I've made not only her but my stepdad, my brother, my sister, whoever a part of my life, my whole family ashamed on my behalf.
Yeah.
And maybe their life they don't feel ashamed or whatever, but if a conversation ever came up with me in it during that time, it wasn't a good conversation.
No.
It was embarrassing
Right.
to them, not only to them but to me, but more to them.
Right.
You know?
For you in conversation.
And they're like, oh, let's not talk about how.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's fine. That's it. That's all you need to know because that's it. That's the only thing he's doing is being fine. He's not doing nothing to be better. He's not doing, you know what I mean? Like, so, you know, and that's another thing that made me want to do more because I'm making my mom look bad.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me look bad. I'm making myself look bad first, but her second, but her most.
We got to think about it. If you make yourself look bad, you making the people you love look bad.
Right.
You know, that's why you can say, you know, they ask you, you know, who do you do it for? You know, you told me first you do it for your mother, you know, which is great. Don't get me wrong. But
Right.
if you did it for yourself first, you know, your mother's going to come in line. You know what I mean? So you got to look out for yourself first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And mama, she just gonna be happy that, you know, that's my son, you know. Hey, when I get in conversations, I can mention my son's podcast. I can mention him working and managing this company, you know what I mean? So give her something to talk about,
Right.
you know what I mean? And that's pretty much all mama really want. You know, at the end of the day, when we grew up, we wanted to buy mama a house. We want to buy mama a car. But at the end of the day, all mama wanted just, you know, you to be straight, you know, where she ain't got to worry about you. You can sleep at night.
Good for you know, you good on your
Right.
You know.
And of
within
course,
yourself.
if that come in line, you know, pulling up with mama, you know,
You know,
Range
do it for
Rover.
ourselves.
Right.
We do it for our people, the people we love, but we need to do it for ourselves.
Right.
We do it for ourselves first. Everybody that we love, that we want to take care of, will be taken care of.
Yeah,
As long as you take care of yourself.
Right.
If you can't take care of yourself, then who's going to take care of the people you want to take care of?
Right. If you can't take,
You, because
no,
you're not taking care of yourself.
you can't take care of nobody if you can't take care of
You gotta build
yourself.
first.
Facts, man.
You know,
Facts.
and I know it's gonna be a process with me because I don't, you know, and sometimes I would think, damn, I'm too late. You know, I'm 30 years old. I haven't gotten it yet. I haven't reached, you know, 100K, a million yet. Like I can't take care of my mom. You know, and it's over for me. I can't think like that because if you do, you'll be able to prosper for yourself.
You're giving up at that point.
For yourself.
Right. Can't give up, man. You gotta keep pushing. It's always good to have dreams and, you know, aspirations and shit like that, man. Like, you never know, you know, where that shit'll take you, bro. You know, like we said earlier, being consistent and keep doing, never know the rewards you'll get out of that, you know? You never know.
You know, me going into this podcast, I didn't know that I was going to be able to reach out to people. You know, I was scared to reach out to people because I didn't think the production was good enough, you know, and I reached out to them and they reached out back. Now we're going to create something.
Right.
Had I not done that, I would have never known.
Right.
I would have never known what the fuck I would.
You'd be in the same position you was. Man,
take those jumps. You got to take those.
Man, you got to take those shots. You miss 99% of the shots that you
what
don't take.
People told me
100%. Come on, man.
a couple people told me, it's like, I would have done it regardless. You reached out, you know, if you would have reached out when you beginning for your first episode, I would have did it.
Well,
You know what I mean? I
Right,
never
right,
missed,
right.
and I loved it, you know, and it's like, I didn't know that, you know. It's a learning process. The whole podcast is a learning process.
Doing something different is always a process, man. But it ain't gonna be easy, like I said earlier.
And you know how I know that I'm doing the right thing? Because I feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes when I'm asking y'all or sending y'all talking to y'all about the podcast or reaching out to anybody, I sometimes in that moment I feel hyped up, but I'll get that feeling of
Like you're an imposter.
yeah, like I'm not doing something real. You know,
Yeah.
why am I doing this? This is stupid.
Right.
Right.
I got to think about what I want to build for the future, and I can't let that stop me. You know, that mindset, because it's not real. Everybody that I've reached out to love to be on the podcast. I didn't think that though. You know, I knew that, and I had to tell myself, okay, this is what it is. This is what this uncomfortable feeling is.
Right.
This is what I've been told on fucking Instagram and Facebook and all this. This is what the feeling is. I got to push through. This is the feeling I got to push through. So you know
Definitely
what?
gotta push through it.
I fucking book it. I make the script, and we fucking do it. That's it.
That's the only way you're gonna find
Now
out.
we're here.
Yeah. It's
You
the
know what
only
I mean?
way you'll find out, man.
I totally get that. Because I went from doing what I did in that lifestyle, I call it like a my passive life. So working for the city, you know what I mean? And like these are people that make a lot of money, degrees and education and
Right.
speak really proper. You know what I mean? Like for me to walk in there like day one, you're not knowing who I was going to be interacting with.
Eyebrow tattoos, everything. They're looking at
my
you like, "Ooh, you
God.
should know. Why is she here?"
But expect the unexpected, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the uncomfortable.
That's where
That's
you're
the uncomfortableness right there. And when you feel that, you know you're in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the boat happened.
If you feel comfortable, if y'all was at the house sitting down right now, you know that would for me, and I know I needed to be here. That would for me be uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Knowing that I'm here, I need to do something and not doing it. It's like that's the example. You know what I mean?
Right.
Being uncomfortable, or I'm doing it and maybe I felt anxiety about the last episode, so I'm pushing back this next episode because I don't think, you know, I'm uncomfortable because I don't think it's gonna be a good episode.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's holding me back from this episode.
Mm-hmm.
We just do it.
Right.
Do it.
Just do
Get
it.
over that fear,
Right.
and we become comfortable while we're in it.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
I tried to talk myself out of coming, but I was like, no, stop being a lady.
You know what's crazy? I'm glad you mentioned that because that's what I felt.
That's how you felt too.
I knew that's what it was.
Yeah.
I knew that's what it was. You were nervous.
Earlier.
I knew that's what it was when you didn't text back.
He was like, I'm gonna call her,
Yeah.
So let me call her.
Yeah,
I called her twice.
Yep.
and I was like, dang,
But then I didn't bother you. I was like, you know what? She's probably nervous.
super.
You know,
Okay.
no one just goes on to the podcast and thinking that, you know, and when you get here, it's not that big of a production. We're just here just talking.
Yeah.
That's literally all it is. That's all it is. There's nothing to, you know, and that's the uncomfortableness
The
sometimes.
nerves.
I feel that too when I was here, walking through here.
I know you was like 15 steps ahead of her.
I wasn't
Heart
too
just pumping, I'm
nervous.
just-
I wasn't too nervous. You know me. I love y'all know. I love show talk. I love to be seen. You know what I mean. This is just me. I'm a golden boy. Y'all know what it is, man. Young D, Georgetown, Texas. Stand up. Y'all know what time it is, me, man. Golden boy. Yeah. Yeah, AGG, you know what I'm saying? All gold gang shit, man. And I'm sipping on wine if y'all really, you know, like, it ain't, yeah, we ain't going, you know, no drugs, kids. Stay off of drugs, man. When you get 21, old enough to drink you some wine, man. Some Moscato. You feel like you hit the lotto, you hear me?
So, you got some music that you want to put out.
I got a booklet of things, man. You know, I got a crazy idea that I got that I want to launch myself back into. You feel
I
me?
asked you this question before, but I'm gonna ask you again, so people know where you're coming from on the reason why, because they know that you do music, Ireon.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this and that you put music out, but recently you haven't. What is your reason?
Man, just like we said earlier, life been lifing, man.
Right.
And then also, man, I also, dog, if anybody, if you know, man, like,
Yeah.
I used to just play with it, man. You know, like, I ain't really take music that serious. You know, I grew up playing sports, you know, freestyling in the locker room and doing all that. I just always played with it until somebody like, man, you need to really, you know, you actually really got something, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So,
What was that point? How old were you when you realized that, you know what, I think I can take this music,
man,
to a different level?
I started doing it early, dude. That whole play mixtape, if you know, my first, little mixtape I had to just, everybody start noticing me as Young D. You know, you got people from school. That's when they like, it's Young D, it's Young D. You know what I mean? That mixtape, you know what I'm saying? I was like 16 years old, not even, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know how old I was, but I put out like a 30, 40 discs, you know what I mean? Just crazy music, and people was loving it. And that's when I started realizing, like, maybe I can, do some music, and I already love music, just what I just love it, from rap to country to,
No matter if you're making money or not.
you know what I'm saying? I like all genres of music, so yeah, like, after that, man, I started taking it serious, but not too serious. Like, I never, like, I write all the time, write every day, you know what I'm saying? But as far as, like, using resources and stuff like that, like promoting, and I never realized, how important that could be and how important that really is, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
back then I wouldn't even, do any of that, just my engineers and shit like that would
make the music and
just make the music and go. Yeah, just make the music and go. And if I like it, I'll put it out. If I don't like it, I won't put. I mean, I got songs from probably like 10 years ago that nobody ever heard. You feel me? I mean, if you know, and I done heard, showed you. But man, like, you call me in or hit me up, send me an IG talking about, man, release that shit, release that shit, release that shit. Like, man, I get that all the time. So it's like, bro, after having my child and shit, like my little seven, Sev, I gotta push that back. I gotta go harder for her, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just for me no more, I want to eventually be able to, whether it's with music, whether it's with a business or whatever, make sure my child, my daughter's forever taken care of, you feel me? That's my main goal in life. Because if she ain't happy, I can't be happy, man. She don't eat, I can't eat. So, yeah, man. Shout out my daughter, man. 7 tomorrow, Warner. I love you, princess.
It's crazy from watching you grow up, as kids, right?
Yeah.
To you, adulting now, and so your mindset of how it was before your daughter and now, how has it changed?
Oh, man. Oh, no, you know me. I mean, I went from, being Ireon, what they say back in school, like, oh, Ireon,
You
just
had to calm down a little bit.
had to calm down, of course, especially, having a daughter. I think that's why God, like, you're gonna get a little girl, this stuff I used to do back in school, talking to every, you know what I mean? Just, that's that area, you know what I'm saying? So,
I'm gonna give you a baby,
yeah.
and it's gonna be a daughter,
And it's gonna be a girl, man. My pops used to always tell me that. But having that little girl, bro, like, oh, man.
Now you're a different Ireon.
Yeah, man. Like, you don't want nobody treating your daughter like that. Of course, you don't think of that when they kids, But, you don't want your daughter, her, you being the dad and, your daughter looking up to you and,
Right.
Because ain't no love or passion different, bigger than the love you get from your child, bro. That's crazy. No matter what, you can spank them 10 minutes later. That, you know what I mean? It's
That's
just
my daughter. Hit the fuck out of him because if you be fucking up, but you know what? That's I love him.
it's crazy, bro. So like I said, yeah, man, with my child, everything's for her now. You know what I'm saying? Everything. Wake up, eat, sleep, breathe. You know, my daughter, bro.
I love that, bro.
Yeah. You would have never thought I'd be like this, but, you know, a lot of people be like, damn, man, like, you know, you real close with your daughter, man.
You are. You are.
Oh, man.
She loves you, bro.
That's my twin, bro.
Nah, for real.
That's my twin, bro.
Twin,
You ain't gonna
bro.
see, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Just
that's my
like,
baby.
look
She,
just like you.
she 3, finna be 4. That's my twin, man. And that's, you know, that's my breath. There, you know, that's what I breathe now. You feel me? So yeah, like this music, you know, this wave I'm finna sing is gonna be crazy, bro. It's gonna be crazy.
It's for her, not. It's for her.
Yeah,
Not for her.
for me and for her.
That's you.
She gotta be right, man.
What's the hardest thing about trying to elevate with, and this is for both of y'all, what's the hardest thing about trying to elevate with your surroundings? You know, some people, you know, keeping you back, you know, and you're trying to prosper, you know, how do you deal with that?
For me, it's like carrying that, you know, into this life. So after I, you know, decided to think better for myself, like there's still very much, you know, charges on my background.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like reputation, whatever the case may be, resentment, whatever that I'm pointing on to. But really, I've always been my biggest obstacle. I've always been my biggest enemy. My worst critic, all of that. So as long as I keep positive people around me that believe in me the way I need to believe in myself, it's gonna be hard. You know, it's when I allow myself to be around people that hype up that negative thought. You know what I'm saying? That tell me what I already think. You know, like cosign one. But
Has there been people that doubted you?
oh yeah. I mean, even I'm pretty sure my family members had doubted me. I mean, like my mom, dad. But I gave them every reason to doubt.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They gave them six reasons to believe I was telling the truth or that I really wanted to become something better.
Right. And that's why it goes back to what I was saying about why I didn't say the things I was going to do when I got out. You know what I mean? Don't know.
But thankfully I have, you know, my oldest brother, like he is definitely his sister's keeper. So he believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. I have my sister as well. You know what I mean? Like those are the only two family members out of all my family that gave me a chance after I done blew every chance in this.
Right. You know what I love? It you know, no matter how many people doubt you, it only takes one person to believe in you to make you feel like you can do it. Only takes one person. For me, that person was my mother. She knew I can do it. Every time I told her about the podcast, she was all for it. Do it at her house? Hell yeah, we can do it at her house. It's my mom.
All right.
To me. And that made me push myself more.
Yeah, because you feel like
appreciate
terrible if you let her down, man.
Exactly. And that's why I keep on doing it.
Right.
You know? And it's not about retiring her. It's about making her proud. That's what she wants. She don't care about the money. She's good.
Right.
You know, she got her own shit going on. She don't need money.
Yeah, but if that come, that'll be a blessing. You know what I mean?
That'll be a blessing.
That'll be a blessing. But the important part is
to be good.
right.
That's all she gonna.
And she can sleep good at night. You know what I mean? She ain't got to worry about John. You know, all this terrible shit going on in the world these days, man. You know, she gonna see tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's times where she felt like she might not, you know, see the next day. You know what I mean?
And I knew that because she would tell me, you know, and now I would think about those things during, you know, incarceration. And I'd be like, you know what? I got to fucking do it.
Yeah, got to.
You know what I mean? Like, this is hurting me because it's hurting her.
Right.
As much as she's hurt, it's hurting her more, but I don't even realize how much it's hurting her. But I know it's hurting me too.
Right.
The same, you know, extent. You know, and
it's hurting you to hurt her. You know what I mean?
To hurt her. You know, that was the only thing I was telling myself when I was in prison was I need to take care of my mom. I didn't know how to do it, but that was the mindset I needed to have.
Yeah.
I knew if I had that mindset, everything would fall into place.
Right.
Me wanting to take care of my mom will eventually put me in situations where I'm able to take care of my mom.
Right. Right.
Me pushing myself to push boundaries that I'm uncomfortable in and wanted to do more for myself, for not only my mom but my everybody.
Yeah. For the ones you
My
love.
family, the people who support me, and people who don't support me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to show everybody
Right.
it's possible. I don't care if you don't like me, if you do like me.
Right,
I'm
right.
trying to show you that you can do it,
Right.
that it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
You got to stay consistent and
Right.
do better for yourself. That's all it takes.
Right.
You incorporate those two things in your life, then everything else will fall into place. And you stay consistent.
Right.
You stay consistent at being consistent, you'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. You'll be successful in whatever it is you want to be successful in. Mm-hmm. Focus is a
Why
big part.
we were talking about women, you know, and I talked to Julia yesterday, and she was like, mention me. I was like, all right, cool, because she was one of the main reasons, and not she, but women in not in general, but in my situation that I was dealing with weren't good for me, so they would hold me back from the things I wanted to do, because when I was friends with, you know, hanging around with you, I was trying to start my own business in the what's it called? I was trying to do that on drugs.
Yeah.
The first where I fucked up first was I was on drugs. Second, I was devoted to the woman I was with. Too much to where I took care of her and me, but not at the full extent,
Right.
because I'm trying to, you know, take care of me and her.
Right.
I can't build myself.
Nah.
I'm just stagnant, maybe pulling myself down,
Yeah.
you know, because of, like I said, not her specifically, but people in that kind of lifestyle and situation, you know, whether it be drugs or, you know.
Because it's the same girl that the one that got away.
No, the one that got away, she is I believe she's a pharmacist now. She went to University of Texas, UT, and that was in high school,
Yeah.
and that was in high school, you know, and I wanted to get married to this girl, but I wasn't doing things that I needed to do to be a husband.
Yeah.
I was doing the things I needed to do to be a player,
Right.
and be the one with the drugs and have fun.
Uh-huh.
You know, that's what I was in. And now that I know that the things that I was focused on, I see the things that I was focused on before, right? And if I put as much energy into the things that I was focused on before and put it on the things that I know that's going to help me grow and the things that I know I want to do, then you can do. I can achieve those same goals as if I was, you know, focusing on women.
Facts, but
You know what I mean?
yep.
I couldn't get this girl. I focused on her. I got her.
Yeah.
If I would have put that energy into a business, I would have had a fucking business.
Yeah.
And you ever put your energy into obtaining something, and then as soon as you get it, you're like, I don't want it.
Man.
You know, this podcast, it's like I'm growing it, and I have that momentum going, but then it's like, I don't want. Sometimes it's like, you know, I had that thought a couple of times where I'd be like, do I want this? Can I even handle it? And, you know, me not being able to thinking I can handle it doesn't want me to want to have it.
Yeah.
You know, I think if I can't handle it, then it gives me that bad anxiety that, you know, I'm not going to be. It gives me that flight, you know, response instead of fight. You know, yeah, and that's what the thing.
Fight or flight.
Fight or fight, and I was definitely sometimes on fight mode, but you gotta push yourself to be in fight mode. You gotta catch that. And be like, you know what? I'm fleeing away. I gotta man up. I gotta, you know. I've already built. Why I would look dumb if I just be like, you know what? I'm not doing this no more.
Right.
This 6th episode. That's the last episode. I feel anxiety all the time. I can't handle it.
What about in like a relationship context?
So restate the question.
So you were saying that you would put, you know what I'm saying, like your focus into getting somebody.
And then, right. But as far as like, as it goes into a relationship, to try to even see at that time, I had that mindset to be in a relationship, right? And that's what veered me off the path that I needed, because in my head, in my opinion, I need to build myself in the things that I need to do in order to have that relationship. I can't just start building a relationship off of, you know, of somebody that because they think I'm attractive and they're having sex with me every day. and I want to be with them. You know what I mean? I can't build that off that.
Nah.
I got to build off, first myself, and then me as that person. I can build off that.
Right.
I can't build off the person I am right now. I can't. I'm
Right.
focused
Right.
on the things that I want to do that I know that'll make me that person to have that kind of relationship with a person. You know what I mean?
I think that person could be, motivation for you too at the same time. You know what I mean?
And
Help you get to those new levels. You know what I mean?
And that is one of the motivations, is to have that kind of a goal, to have a family with a good woman.
Yeah.
But I feel like I need to work on myself first to have that.
Right.
I need to work on
Got to
myself.
be able to help yourself.
I can't handle that right now. In the position I'm in, financially, mentally, you know what I mean? Emotionally, I can't handle being in a relationship and it prosper.
Right,
Something good.
Right.
It will, set myself up for failure. I know I can't handle it. Why prosper something that, why pursue a relationship when I know it's going to fail because I'm not in the right place where I need to be
Right.
in myself,
Right.
What about you? Well, what's your take on relationship right now?
Man.
You're that diva right there. That's
Nah,
deep.
man. I'm focused on my baby, bro. Like,
Right. Yeah, that's why I asked because are you
Yeah.
focused on something else? You
you
prioritize higher aspects of your life.
Nah. I feel you. I'm focused on my baby, bro. Like, some come, some, come. But other than that,
Right.
I gotta
You just keep it like that.
gotta
just
feed
cool.
my daughter.
You just-
Gotta,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? That's
Yeah.
what's
That's
important
the
to me.
priority. Yeah.
Yeah, but if like I said, if something something happen,
Right.
ain't no telling who you can, who you'll meet, who you'll see, or, like,
You just keep it
Uh,
with it, yeah.
I'll barely even be going out like that no more to even, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, when I got my daughter, I got my daughter, but if I ain't got my baby, then it's, I might go out and, I might go out and play ball for a little bit, but I don't know, man. As far as a relationship, I can't say I'm 100% focused on a relationship.
And what about you? Are you focused on relationship, brother? Can't be. You're building too much. You can't be.
Yeah, I got a lot going on, and I cannot. I mean, like, let me revert that. If I were to meet somebody that, like, really...
Same level type shit.
Right, not just same level, like, they don't have to...
Same mindset, same whatever.
Raw, lower left, and like, how... But the people I have been with recently, like, relationship-wise, if I find another one like that, like, boy, no. Like, I want to give up on relationships only get...
Right. Yeah, because, I know. Especially when a toxic relationship on drugs, because that, and I'm glad I went through that type of shit too, because that made me, it taught me a lot, because on drugs is different. Off drugs is different. When you're on drugs, it's more toxic. Not only you're intoxicating your body, but your mind. So you're not thinking the right way. Especially, because, for example, and everybody knows this, especially when they're on dope, you think your spouse is cheating.
Oh, my...
And more than likely, she is, and more than likely, she's not. You don't know.
Yeah.
It's both ways. And more than likely, you are, and more than likely, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? No one knows nothing. It's that psychoactive feeling that fucks up and makes a relationship toxic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm studying psychology, right? And I learned something that really, like, hit home for me, and it was that you look or you find in your partner, or you pick a partner that treats you the way you feel about yourself.
Right.
So, like, whenever you get into a relationship, and like the last relationship I was in it was pretty bad, you know what I mean? But from a psychology standpoint, it's like maybe because all of the things that I have not forgiven myself for, like, I feel like I deserve it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just...
Like, what do you think that you haven't forgiven yourself for that you deserve?
a lot. I mean, not now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
had my time to clear my mind and all of that. Like, but it was a really, you know what I mean? Like me being in the streets, like it was not glorious, glamorous, none of that. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't, I didn't share the same experience you did, but yeah, it was pretty bad. Like I beat myself down, you know what I mean? Till like I was just exhausted all the way around.
You know, the main thing that blocked my focus was me thinking that drugs didn't affect me.
Yeah.
That me thinking that drugs actually helped me stay up and be active and do all this.
Once you were in control of
That I was in control, and this is just making me, this is just boosting me.
right.
When it really is just, when I'm doing the drugs, it's making me normal, because without them, I feel negative. You know what I mean? And not positive. You're not going up. You know, you're doing it to feel normal. You're doing it to feel mutual, you know?
Right, right.
And neutral. And so this is why drugs is not a good thing. And they say stay away from drugs, but they don't tell you why, because you're going to be homeless. You're going to, you know, and you can be a millionaire. You can have this and that. You can have the best wife in your life. You trust them drugs. I promise you, within however long it takes, it doesn't matter how long it takes. It could be a year, it could be a week, it could be 10 years. It's going to happen. It's going to happen no matter what. It's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's all the time we got.
Let's get it. That was good.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all tune in. And I appreciate y'all for coming anyway.
Yeah, man, all day. John, I told you I got you, man. I did the best I can, y'all.
Oh, you good? We did. All we doing is having a conversation.
Yeah, how was the combo, man?
You know, there ain't nothing to it. You don't matter. You know, there ain't no right or wrong. It's whatever you feel.
And it was nice meeting you, Katie. Nice to meet you.
All right, we're good.